You know where the scene is from? Titanic. Huge ship. Beautiful journey. Grand chandeliers. And of course, Celine Dion singing beautifully. And then the tragic accident where Jack and Rose meet this end. Today's topic is not about Titanic, nor is it about the tragic love story of Jack and Rose. So all the romantics in the house, thank you, sorry. Today is about the three ships which were nearby. While the world knows about the accident called the Titanic, very rare few people know about the three ships which were nearby. Once the accident happened, and the captain of Titanic knew that we are sinking, he told the crew members, go and fire the distress flares. Three ships saw that. Three captains saw that. And all three of them responded differently. Today's talk is about those three different responses and what they tell us. The first was this ship called the Samson. And the captain of the ship was a lovely gentleman called C.L. Ring. This ship was about 7 miles away from Titanic. They could see the Titanic sinking. He turned the ship around and fled away. Why did he not go to save them? Because he was in illegal waters hunting for seals. His inner compass was broken and he chose not to help and escape from that situation. The next ship was this ship called SS Californian. The Captain Lord. The Captain Lord saw the flares. He also clearly heard on the transistor a call called Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. He did not want to spoil his night and drive all the way to save someone. For some people, their personal convenience is more important than somebody else's catastrophe. In fact, he switched off the transistor and went off to sleep. When his crew members came to him and said they are danger flares, they are distress flares, he just looked at them and said, nah, they are company rockets which are very routine in these parts of the world, and went off to sleep. A friend of mine, let's call him Milind, he had an affair. He's a married man, and I came to know about it. I went to his younger brother and told him something is going on wrong. I think we need to sit. We need to sit with his wife. We need to sit with the larger family. And we have to find a solution. His brother looked at me, shrugged his shoulders, and said, Naren, that's his personal life. Not my monkey, not my circus. Now that is exactly what the captain of Californian also felt. The third ship was a ship called Carpathia. Captain Rostron was the captain of the ship. The first ship, Samson, was 7 miles away. The second ship, Californian, was 18 miles away. This third ship was 58 miles away. Now, Captain Rostron saw faint flares. Captain Rostron could not even hear the transistor properly. He only heard the cackle of the noise, but he could faintly make out its distress. His conscience was powerful. He told his crew, turn this giant ship around. And his ship was actually going the other way. He said, turn the giant ship around. Somebody needs our help. Let's go and help them. The capacity of his ship was 14 knots per hour, and that in normal seas. And that night, in the distance between Carpathia and Titanic, There were a lot of mini icebergs. So it was almost like an icy grave. But he said somebody needs help. He drove the ship to the maximum capacity, reached near Titanic in close to 4 hours. Titanic had sunk, but 705 people were clinging on. 1,500 died. 705 people who were shivering, who were praying, who were hoping that somebody will see, somebody will turn up, somebody will help. If only the first 2 ships had also turned around and reached Titanic, the number of casualties wouldn't have been 1,500. It would have been much, much, much less. Like the other 2 captains, he did not have an excuse in his heart that I would like to escape. I'm sure in your lives also you have all these 3 kinds of captains. You have a ring, you have a lord, and you also have a rostron. I'm blessed that in my life, I've had many captain rostrons. I was 18 years old. My family lost all our money in a bad business deal. We had to sell our 3-floor house. We had to sell more than 200 tolas belonging to my mom. And we were literally on the streets. That is the time when I understood what is the meaning of relative relatives. My father had a friend, and his name was Devki Nandanji Sarda. He told Dad, don't bother. If an opportunity comes, come to me, I'll fund you. An opportunity came, and this is 1997. We required 50,000, 50. And with an investment of 50,000, there was a possibility of earning 15,000 per month. And that would have been a great beginning for our comeback in life. Many of our relatives were very well to do, but they were Captain Ring and Captain Lords. Somebody who ran away or somebody who pretended that there is no need for anybody to give some help. Devku uncle told father, take this 50,000. Now Devku uncle is not a rich guy. He was not affluent at all. He had saved that money for his daughter's wedding. Papa looked at him and said, Devku, I am not very sure whether the business will succeed or not. Today I think it will succeed. But if it fails, there is no way I can repay this money to you. And this money is for your daughter's wedding. So I don't think I should take this money. Devku uncle says, you are thinking what if you fail? I am thinking what if you succeed? And in case my daughter is destined to marry somebody, she is going to get married to that person only. Now that 50,000 rupees became our seed for a comeback. You know, in China there is a saying, inside every seed there is a forest. And that seed helped us to create a forest of abundance in the future of our life. Every now and then in life, you will also come across somebody who needs your help. Why every now and then? Chances are, tonight, there are some flares up there in the sky. Those flares are not bright. Those flares are definitely not loud. But there are people hoping that somebody will see those flares. There are people praying somebody will come and help. There are people who are praying, everybody is not forgotten us, and we are not going to have people around us only in the best of times. When we look back at history, it is not just a matter of dates. To me, history is a mirror. And we watch that mirror, our face will either have Captain Ring written on it, or it will be Captain Lord written on it, or it will have Captain Rostron written on it. History will not care how much money we have. History will not care what is the kind of ship we have. History will care only for one thing. even if you were tired, even if you were slow, even if you were far away, did the ship turn around to help those people who need help? I know the feeling what those 705 people would have felt. My whole family felt this feeling. I know what it meant when everything is dark. Somebody reaches out and says, "Here, take my help. Maybe it will turn your life around." Sometimes it's 5 minutes. Sometimes it's a word of appreciation. Sometimes it's a hand on somebody's shoulders. And sometimes it's just saying, "I think you will make it big in life." In that incident, 1,500 lives could have been saved. And because of the presence of all people over here, I think thousands of lives can be saved. Let's all be Captain Rostrongs in our life. Thank you so much.